Collected Essays of Valerie Lynn Stevens. Yada, yada, yada. In Hebrew, one of the possible translations of the word yada means to get to know. So I suppose when we say yada, 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 we are either denoting the fact that we, along with those whom we are addressing, are already familiar with or know that which it is we're talking about. Or perhaps that we are trying as we speak to process or wrap our heads around, aka get to know, something which we are pondering aloud. And there may even be some other interpretations thereof. Nevertheless, we can all benefit from a lesson or two in the fine social art of communication with our fellow human beings. This especially in the face of what is referred to in the realms of philosophy as solipsism and the problem of other minds. Though perhaps deemed redundant and even futile by some, is of salient significance in this milieu of cyber communication. Of course, let us just start off from the beginning by stating that wholesome and beneficial communications can be made only between two parties equally divested in such a goal. To clarify, one person may very well be honed in the art of precise and wholesome communication, yet find to their frustration that the other person has not yet quite honed their listening skills. Or, in the context of written and or typed communication such as most of us must conduct on the internet from day to day, some very well-spoken individuals may come across another person whose reading comprehension is lacking. Moreover, what communications scholars call paralinguistics is also not able to be discerned when one is communicating through a computer keyboard and monitor unless they're Skyping, etc. Paralinguistics are those elements of communication such as tone of voice, body language, eye contact, etc., which aid in the full comprehension of not only what another is attempting to express and communicate, but even perhaps what kind of a personality and temperament an individual may have, all of which can facilitate smoother and more fruitful interactions with our fellow human beings. This is why I find it of extreme importance that we all take it upon ourselves to work at clearer articulation, especially when we are cyberneting. Mind you, it is, as with all things concerning the realm of humans, largely a matter of context, in this case social context. Nevertheless, we can all benefit from working to lessen some of the misunderstandings and even all-out clashes that can arise out of not communicating or listening adeptly to both our own words and those of others. Of course, as stated above, not every individual is on a similar wavelength, if you will, and we must tailor each our own social rounds to this reality. But if we become too sacrosanct within our own bubbles of similar-minded people, then we miss out on a lot of opportunities for personal growth. Indeed, some of my own personal revelations and inward triumphs and transformations have been born from the most unlikely of social wombs. I like to challenge myself to step outside my comfort zone because my past experiences have shown me that a lot of unearthed treasure usually lies behind those doors. Therefore, I cultivate broad-mindedness so that I can properly humble myself before the vastness and diversity that is this world and come to acquaint myself with persons and experiences which I might not inherently seek out or identify with. Yet fundamentally, we are all the same organism undergoing each our own levels of development in our own idiosyncratic ways. This is why I don't feel undue fear about opening myself in this way to the world outside of myself, because I see myself mostly reflected in it, more than seeing it as being completely alien to me. And most human beings probably feel the same way that I do. In psychological parlance, at least from the Jungian perspective, this achievement of inward and outward synthesis is referred to as integration. And I believe this to be essential to the spiritual attunement of each individual's radar, so that we can first come to terms with all aspects of ourselves, and thus offer the same empathy and acceptance to others as well. To play on a phrase, it begins at home, or just it begins from within. Furthermore, in keeping with the subject of the human dialectic, yada yada yada, one needn't be a master wordsmith in order to be able to connect with other people. From my own observations in field practice, quote unquote, all it takes is a willingness to humble ourselves before the shrine of self-awareness. Here is a little syllogism to break what I mean down into more digestible tidbits. I am human. You are human. I understand myself and my own humanity. Therefore, I can understand you and your own humanity. Now, mind you, this is by no means intending to be flippant or facetious. I realize that none of us can identify or even fully understand everything about everyone, including our own selves. My point is this: starting from a base of the ways in which we are similar will help us get through the rough patches of where we might clash or just differ. I personally believe there to be too many complex facets to any human person. Therefore, in the name of expediency and a spirit of unification, we sometimes must simplify things. For example, you might have a different, quote, personality type than I do, but I guarantee you, if we both work at it, we can find common ground in something simpler, or even in some deeper, more core values and human features. And these lie at the root of the person anyhow, so differences in anything else in comparison should be deemed spurious. There are different temperaments, there are different personality types, there are uniquely solipsistic phenomena of consciousness, such as what we generally refer to as life experiences and worldviews. Yet fundamentally, we all share the same genetic human characteristics, including those so-called tangible elements, such as our psychology, philosophically speaking, and our sense of spirituality, what I would like to refer to as our metaphysiology. Thus, no matter what our socioeconomic background, political affiliation, ethnicity, personality type, temperament, geographical location, let us please be mindful of how we treat our fellow human beings in word and deed. What we do and say to others has a very profound impact, more than we know. What we do unto another, we in turn do unto ourselves. And as a certain bard of world renown once quoth, slowly doth heal those wounds which men give themselves. We must remind ourselves, in the face of a world which seeks to divide us at every impasse, we're all in this together. But need more be said because yada yada yada.